If you've been on the internet in the past week, you've no doubtly seen, well, this news story about Kesha. If you've been on Twitter, you've probably seen FreeKesha and hashtag Sony supports rape. It's a pretty interesting story. Well, actually, no, it's not pretty interesting. It's really aggravating and infuriating, and it actually kind of makes you despair for the state of our country. I mean, you've probably seen this picture right here of Kesha crying, and some people saying that this is not the face of a liar because no woman in the history of the world has ever lied before. No, 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 that just doesn't fucking happen. I mean, when Elena Gilbert, spilled on the floor and cried about the death of all of her relatives, that was no way a TV show. That actually happened. Because very clearly, whenever a woman cries, very clearly something has obviously happened. Basically, what I'm saying is, just because Kesha cried, it's not evidence of anything happening. But I'm a little shocked that I even have to explain that to people. But I mean, you've probably been living under a rock, so you probably don't even understand why Kesha was crying in the first place. I mean, I logically deduced that she was crying because she wasn't let out of her deal with Sony, but no, clearly she was crying because she was forced to continue to work with her producer, Dr. Luke. But once again, viewer, you're probably still left in the dark. So what am I even talking about? Well, really, what I'm talking about is, well, the singer Kesha, the terrible singer who sung that TikTok song, wanted to get out of her business contract with Sony. So what she decided to do was to say that Dr. Luke, producer, actually raped her just after she turned 18, and she tried to use that as a reason as to why she should be allowed to get out of her contract with Sony. Now, that's a pretty interesting thing because the allegations say that this happened over a decade ago. So you would logically ask, why did it take you 10 years to finally come say something? But if you were to be logical there, viewer, you're an oppressive shitlord and a victim blamer, and you should feel bad. You should never ask what took you so long to bring this to the court system. No, 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 because that's misogynistic. You fucking bastard. So anyway, let's just go ahead and take this from the top. The article reads, Kesha Psalm says judge refuses to cancel contract with producer Dr. Luke, who allegedly raped her in 2006. TikTok star Kesha broke into tears Friday when a Manhattan Supreme Court judge refused to let her walk away from a 6-album deal with Sony and the man she claims raped her. The singer had sought to nullify her recording contract because it brought into contact with super producer Dr. Luke, whose real name is Luke Gottwald. The 28-year-old, whose real name is Kesha Rose Sabert, claims Dr. Luke drugged her with a pill that made her black out and raped her shortly after her 18th birthday in California. Now, I'm a little confused. How did she know she was raped if she was blacked out? There goes my misogynistic tendencies again, asking logical questions. I apologize for that. I'm going to go flail myself when I'm done recording this. He was never criminally charged. Sony has offered to let her work with another producer. Wait, what? So let me get this one straight. You mean to tell me that there's this hashtag called FreeKesha from her producer, and Sony has allowed her to work with another producer, but she's still upset? It kind of looks like to me that Kesha really doesn't want to be a part of this deal with Sony, not the producer. But there's me being logical again. But Kesha said she fears the company won't promote her music as heavily if she's not working with Gottwald, their biggest hitmaker. Now, that doesn't make a lot of sense, Kesha, because if you were not a part of Sony at all, they absolutely will not be promoting you. Something doesn't make any sense, but there goes me being misogynistic again, thinking with that good old logic there. Now, I know what some of you people are thinking. I can read your minds. I can. You're thinking that the court system sucks, that it's corrupted, and you'd be right. In a lot of cases, it does suck, but it's the best we got. You're probably sitting here thinking, wow, Sony supports rape. They defended this rapist, and you're thinking, see, we were right. 97% of rapists never, ever spend a day in jail. That's probably what you're thinking, isn't it? Well, there's an interesting thing about the court system that that believe it or not might change your opinion on what's going on here with Kesha. A couple of months ago, there was this article titled "Kesha Denied Date Rape by Dr. Luke in 2011 Testimony." court records reveal. I know the court system is corrupt and it protects rapists, but I never would have thought that the victim of rape would protect them too. Something's not right. Something fishy is going on. Kesha once testified under oath that the alleged date rape at the center of her new lawsuit against Dr. Luke never took place, but her lawyer claims she was simply too scared to sing. The platinum-selling pop artist said in secret disposition testimony given in June 2011 and unsealed Tuesday that music producer Dr. Luke never roofied her or coerced her into sex. Interesting. Dr. Luke never made sexual advances at me, she testified under oath, according to the transcripts obtained by the Daily News. The testimony contradicts allegations made in the blockbuster sexual assault lawsuit that the TikTok singer filed against Dr. Luke in Los Angeles on October 14th. Well, that is interesting. That's interesting. I guess apparently she was just too scared to tell him the truth. She probably thought, that he wasn't going to spend the day in jail and that she was going to be punished for it. But I mean, clearly there's probably like a bunch of evidence, right? Right? Well, I am not so sure about that. So over on factmagazine.com, and let's be clear, people, just because it says fact doesn't mean that it is. It's not really how, facts work. The article is titled Dr. Luke, any claim Kesha isn't free is a myth. And this was written by a woman. So obviously she has internalized misogyny if she's going to do anything but defend Kesha. I mean, if this article is in no way in support of Kesha, I mean, clearly this woman has internalized misogyny and there's no way she's trying to tell the truth. No, impossible. The producer accuses the singer of extortion. On Friday afternoon, pop singer Kesha was denied a preliminary injunction to get out of her recording contract with Sony, Dr. Luke, and his label, Kimosabe. Dr. Luke lawyer Christina Lepata, that's an interesting name, has released a statement via Rolling Stone regarding the hearing and the allegations of sexual and mental abuse made against them, as well as what they're calling a Twitter smear campaign. The statement reads, "The New York Supreme Court on Friday found that Kesha is already free to record and release music without working with Dr. Luke as a producer if she doesn't want to." Interesting. Any claim that she isn't free is a myth. The sound decision Friday by the court is denying Kesha's motion for an injunction, made it clear Kesha's allegation of purported abuse were unconvincing and that she had no basis to void record contract and copyrights. Dr. Luke and companies invested in Kesha's success through their contributions. Sony Music has already spent over $11 million promoting Kesha, and Sony Music and its label Kimosabe Records are committed to continuing to promote her work. More significantly, the court also noted multiple times that her vague abuse allegations were devoid of factual detail, and that there was no evidence, whether from doctors or anyone else, to support them. Is that right? No evidence. Interesting. But according to our favorite fluffy feminist, women shouldn't need evidence. Evidence is misogynistic. See, because on February 19th, our favorite fluffy feminist starts talking about her and her faith in the justice system and how it bothers her so. Laci Green says, "I have zero faith in our justice system for rape survivors. Our system repeatedly protects predators and further traumatizes victims. This is why it pisses me off when people demand survivors report/press charges to handle sexual assault. It doesn't work. The system is fucked. To press charges, we ask survivors to relive their trauma over and over, not just to a court of law, but to a court of public opinion. We ask survivors to undergo character assassination, doubt, and blame for months or even years while they hold out for justice. And for what? Typically nothing, or in Kesha's case, to be contractually bound to your rapist for 6 more albums. Rape culture. Interesting. I mean, not only is Laci apparently not a very good reader, that or she never read the articles where in multiple cases they have said that Kesha is free, but apparently Laci thinks that women should be absolved of providing evidence to the court system. I mean, what evidence? I don't even know what that word means. What even is that? I don't know, but women are above it apparently. If a woman says she was raped, Obviously she was. Evidence? What even? I don't even know what that word means. What even is evidence? I don't know. But according to Laci, this fucking paragon of intellectual rigor, apparently according to her, the justice system just doesn't work. It just sucks. It's just terrible. You know, God forbid rape victims tell people the moment they were raped so they can have the best chance to collect evidence and get that person in jail. Oh, no. No, apparently, if someone's been raped, they should just keep it to themselves. Right, Laci? Maybe they should go to fucking Tumblr and then go tweet about it. Oh, yeah, that sounds like a much better idea. Let's just go tweet about how I was raped. Fuck going to the police. I don't trust them. Bloody hell. What is going on? What is going on in our culture to where this dumbass, I mean enough of the sarcasm, seriously, that this dumbass has thousands of people retweeting her as if that made any bit of conceivable sense, as if it made any logical sense to not tell the police or the authorities when a crime has happened. Now, you're probably asking, how exactly is this an example of how we don't live in a rape culture? Well, think about it, viewer. I mean, Taylor Swift gave Kesha $250,000 to help with legal fees. I mean, either Kesha lied 5 years ago or she's lying now. So no matter which way you slice it, T Swift is helping out someone who lied to the court system. If we live in a culture that normalizes and protects rapists, the very last thing you would see is any woman trying to help a woman try to prosecute a rapist. I mean, the mere fact that people are even against rape is, you would think, would be an indication of how we do not normalize rape in our society, but that's being too logical. No, let's take it a step further. If we really lived in a rape culture, why are there a bunch of hashtags of people screaming, "Free Kesha," despite the fact that Kesha does not have to work with Dr. Luke? Why do people say Sony supports rape, even though Sony has said that Kesha does not have to work with said producer? Isn't that obvious, my friends? Isn't that obvious? We do not live in a culture that supports rape. We live in a culture that regularly lambasts people who are even accused of rape. Think of James Dean, Bill Cosby, and now Dr. Luke. It was never confirmed, but it was denied. Interesting how that can happen. Despite the fact that Kesha herself says she was not raped, we completely neglect that. We forget about it, and then these people go on a tirade, continuously calling this man a rapist, saying that Sony supports rape, despite the fact that there is no evidence for such an allegation, despite the fact that the man has been exonerated from such allegations. Amazing, is it not? We have a culture of peons who are willing to march at the drop of a hat to see a man who has not even been convicted of rape to be punished for a crime we don't even know happened. We have completely thrown innocent until proven guilty out of the window, all because a woman said something happened, despite the fact there's no evidence. And if that is not proof that we do not live in a rape culture, I don't know what is. With that being said, man, I certainly hope you guys enjoyed today's video. And if you did, man, go ahead and click that like button. Go ahead and click that subscribe button. Comment in the comment box below. And as always, have a great day. I will see you cool cats soon. Adios.